In the realm of technological innovation, we are constantly presented with new concepts meant to transform our digital interactions. Devices like the Nintendo Power Glove, the Xbox Kinect, early stereoscopic displays, and interactive toy-based systems have all represented steps toward immersive experiences. Among these pursuits, virtual reality has stood out as a particularly ambitious goal, a concept that once seemed like pure science fiction, but has now materialized into tangible, functional technology. Let's take a chronological journey through the development of VR. We'll see how an everyday viewing toy influenced its design, and discover that earlier generations were engaging with primitive forms of immersive tech long before it became a household term. While films such as Lawnmower Man and Ready Player One have embedded the idea of VR into popular culture, what has truly been achieved in reality? To trace its origins, we must return to the 1960s and encounter the Sensorama. Regarded as a pioneering virtual reality apparatus, this sizable booth did not offer interactive applications, but instead provided a multisensory cinematic encounter. A participant would sit down, position their head within a large viewing hood, and choose from a selection of 5 brief films. The most memorable was a simulated motorcycle tour through New York City, incorporating motion, generated wind, and even aromas such as bus exhaust and freshly baked pizza. One can only imagine the market success of modern VR devices if they included olfactory feedback reminiscent of a hot New York slice. Despite its inventive approach, the Sensorama could not secure sufficient financial backing to achieve commercial viability and gradually vanished from public attention. For numerous individuals growing up in subsequent decades, their first exposure to a VR-like experience actually came through a classic optical toy, the ViewMaster. Its circular reels delivered a convincing illusion of depth, and its handheld viewer design established a foundational template for many later head-mounted displays. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, virtual reality development largely receded into the background as technological and commercial interest shifted toward the rise of personal computing and conventional home entertainment. The expansion of home console systems and the booming arcade scene of the era inspired technology companies to explore novel interactive formats. Sega made a significant early foray into VR with the announcement of the Sega VR headset in 1991. The prior market success of their Master System and Genesis platforms provided the resources and confidence to pursue such an ambitious project. Regrettably, the Sega VR never progressed to a broad consumer release. Despite being demonstrated at multiple trade shows, the system encountered persistent technical limitations and could not deliver the seamless experience that had been promised. Access remained restricted to specialized machines placed in Sega-themed amusement arcades, known as Sega World or Sega Park, located primarily in the United Kingdom. Concurrently, Nintendo proceeded with its own VR endeavor, which would become one of its most notable commercial disappointments, the Virtual Boy. This tabletop unit embodied many of the practical shortcomings of VR technology at that time. Launched in 1995, the device did not support physical movement tracking. It rendered graphics solely in red and black and was paired with an unwieldy basic controller. Its software library was also unremarkable. Although the bundled title Mario Tennis demonstrated novel stereoscopic effects for the period, the monochromatic red display rapidly induced eye strain, severely limiting comfortable usage duration. Uninspiring performance resulted in poor sales, prompting Nintendo to swiftly discontinue the Virtual Boy and refocus efforts on the forthcoming Nintendo 64. After these two major electronics companies of the 1990s attempted and failed to deliver viable VR systems to the public, the technology entered a period of slower, more subdued advancement. The nearest consumer-available product resembling contemporary virtual reality was the VFX-1 headgear. This equipment featured a wearable visor, integrated headphones, basic head orientation tracking, and a compact hand controller. Its primary drawback was a steep price point of approximately $600, coupled with a very limited selection of compatible software, lacking support from major publishers. Consequently, while the mainstream interactive entertainment industry largely relegated VR to specialty locations like theme parks, other corporations explored methods to advance VR technology outside the context of gaming. Sony, experiencing great success with its PlayStation division, concurrently developed personal cinema headsets in a separate branch of the company. Designed exclusively for watching television and films, these headsets created the perceptual illusion of viewing content on a gigantic 750-foot screen. When connected to a DVD player, They provided an enhanced, immersive way to experience cinematic titles such as The Matrix or Titanic. Throughout the late 1990s and early 2000s, Sony released various iterations of visual technology, including the Glastron and other 3D-capable viewers. It was years later that this accumulated expertise converged with Sony's interactive entertainment division, leading to the genesis of the PlayStation VR project. However, before Sony's dedicated headset launched, the entire VR landscape was beginning to gain substantial momentum. Consumer expectations were evolving beyond novelty. The catalyst for this shift was a Kickstarter campaign for a device called the Oculus Rift. This project ignited widespread excitement, raising over $2.5 million through crowdfunding and rapidly bringing sophisticated VR technology to the consumer market. Released in 2016, the Oculus Rift headset exemplified how visionary concept could finally align with advanced engineering. It offered high-definition visuals, low-latency head tracking, and deeply interactive software, allowing users to genuinely step into digital realms. Supplementary Oculus Touch controllers provided intuitive motion-sensitive input, enabling users to draw, gesture, and manipulate virtual objects with their hands. Early software titles, ranging from the playful simulation Job Simulator Asterisk to the narrative-driven Asterisk Vader Immortal Asterisk, demonstrated the medium's potential. The sophistication of this technology attracted significant attention, most notably from Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook's subsequent $2 billion acquisition of Oculus infused the sector with immense resources and accelerated its growth. This acquisition triggered a wave of competitive innovation. Numerous companies began announcing their own VR initiatives. One of the most significant developments was the adaptation of smartphone displays for VR use, dramatically reducing cost and complexity. In 2015, Samsung partnered with Oculus to produce the Gear VR, a headset that utilized Samsung Galaxy smartphones as its display and processor. This made immersive technology accessible to a much broader audience. Simultaneously, Sony pivoted from its earlier personal cinema projects to fully focus on interactive VR, resulting in the 2016 launch of PlayStation VR as an accessory for the PS4 console. Sony's approach involved deep integration with existing PlayStation ecosystem hardware. The PlayStation camera was used for positional tracking, the PlayStation Move controllers served as motion input devices, and a social screen feature allowed others to view the VR session on a television, adding a shared social dimension to the experience. Ownership of the headset granted access to a range of complementary applications and experiences designed to showcase the technology. For instance, the Spider-Man Far From Home virtual reality experience allowed users to web swing through a virtual New York City. Some of the most enduring PSVR titles are elegantly simple in concept, such as Asterisk Beat Saber Asterisk, where players slash approaching blocks to the rhythm of music using virtual lightsabers. The headset also functioned as a private media viewer. A cinematic mode enabled users to watch movies, stream video content, or even play standard non-VR PlayStation games on a virtual large screen, reminiscent of Sony's earlier Glastron viewer. Inevitably, alongside major technological strides came efforts to democratize access. To provide a low-barrier entry point, Google introduced the Cardboard platform in 2014. As the name implies, the viewer was constructed from cardboard and used a smartphone to deliver basic VR experiences. This initiative spurred the creation of countless mobile VR apps for education, virtual tourism, and simple interactive stories. Even the classic ViewMaster brand was updated for this new era through a partnership with Google, resulting in the ViewMaster virtual reality viewer in 2015. Nintendo also re-entered the space with the Labo VR kit for the Nintendo Switch, a cardboard-based construction that transformed the handheld console into a simple VR device, complete with dedicated software and VR modes for games like The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild Asterisk. As VR technology matured, its convergence with augmented reality AR and mixed reality MR became more pronounced. While Microsoft has not released a VR headset for its Xbox console as of this writing, it has made significant investments in the Windows mixed reality platform. This system allows users to interact with Windows in a VR space and supports a range of headsets from partners like HP. Microsoft has also explored the social potential of VR with platforms like AltSpace VR, a virtual environment where users can meet, attend events, and share experiences. Although still evolving, such platforms hint at a future where VR serves as a venue for collaboration and social connection. Looking forward, industry analysts suggest Sony is developing enhanced, higher-resolution VR hardware for its PlayStation 5, which could further solidify its position in the consumer market. However, some of the most compelling applications of VR technology are emerging outside the home. The advent of wireless, room-scale tracking has given rise to a new generation of dedicated VR arcades. These modern arcades are not rows of individual cabinets, but rather large, open spaces equipped with props and sensors. Users don wireless headsets and can freely move through virtual environments like jungles or space stations, often collaborating with others in team-based missions. This model offers a premium, social VR experience without the high cost and space requirements of a home setup. Theme parks and location-based entertainment venues are also adopting VR at a rapid pace. Roller coasters at parks like Six Flags now incorporate VR headsets to transform a traditional ride into a journey alongside superheroes. Dave & Buster's hosts motion platform attractions like Jurassic World VR Expedition. Perhaps most impressively, Disney's Avatar, Flight of Passage ride at Animal Kingdom combines a sophisticated VR-like visual system with a motion simulator seat and environmental effects such as wind and scent, creating a deeply immersive experience that directly echoes the multisensory goals of the 1960s Sensorama. The potential applications seem boundless. One can envision future theme park attractions where VR headsets overlay digital elements onto physical sets, or where historical sites are rebuilt in immersive detail for educational exploration. VR technology will undoubtedly continue to progress. Future headsets will become lighter, more comfortable, and offer higher visual fidelity. Research into haptic feedback, neural interfaces, and more convincing sensory simulation promises to deepen the feeling of presence within virtual worlds. After decades of evolution, from the Sensorama to wireless social VR, the journey of virtual reality demonstrates a relentless human drive to create and explore new digital frontiers. Its path from speculative fiction to practical tool and powerful entertainment medium is a testament to technological perseverance. What comes next will likely blur the lines between the digital and physical even further, opening possibilities we are only beginning to imagine. What aspect of VR technology do you find most compelling? Is it the potential for immersive training, revolutionary storytelling, virtual travel, or social connection in digital spaces? Let us know your perspective, and thank you for exploring the incredible evolution of virtual reality with us.